Guys, Barbara here. Welcome to the Bear Pantry Show. Today I have a special treat for you guys. I'm gonna have a lunch or dinner recipe or menu, and I'm also gonna have a dessert that's made from scratch. Now, we're gonna get into the dinner recipe first, and I want you guys to stick around and not fast forward through the video, okay? Because I have a special treat for you guys at the end. This is 3 cups of chicken breast, the boneless, skinless kind that's just kind of sliced up or diced up into these cubes. And then this is a teaspoon of each salt and black pepper, a tablespoon of each. This is garlic powder, not garlic salt because that has MSG, chili powder, and cumin. Jory's running camera today and he hates the smell of cumin, so I have to hurry. Then we're going to use pen, and I'm using the healthy kind. And it's 4 cups, but this whole box will be 4 cups, okay? See the ounce right there? And then we're going to need 5 cups of milk. Any percentage will do, 2%, 1%, whole, whatever. And then these are the peppers that I like because I don't like the green ones. So red, orange, and yellow. And I'm using like the whole peppers of each. And then this is half of a large onion. See how it's kind of sliced like this? And then the last thing is a cup of shredded pepper jack. So I just left it here to show you guys. And let's begin by letting me show you what I did to the chicken, okay? This is all I did to the meat. I use 3 out of the 4 pieces of chicken from this package. So far, I'm only slicing into 2 pieces, but I'll get the 3rd one, don't worry. And I cut across the length first. See, I have all 3 here. And then I turn them the other way and cut across the width. And all I'm doing is creating bite-sized pieces. So you slice it up the way you want to create your own bite-sized pieces for the size that you desire. Did you get all of that? So then all I did was dump this into this large bowl and kind of like fingered through it to make sure that my pieces are all separated. And then I squeezed some lemon on top, washed it off under the faucet, and now here we are. Time to cook, guys. So this is 3 to 4 tablespoons of olive oil, and just let me dump all my pieces in and give it a stir. This is not really going to get brown because I don't have anything at all on the chicken, but it is going to change color and get kind of white. So this is what we're looking for. So see, just like this. Let me scoop all the pieces out into this bowl, and then I'm gonna set it aside, but just for a moment, okay, not for too long. So now I'm gonna use my same skillet again, put the peppers in, and then of course the onions, and then the powdered spices. This is a salt and black pepper, next the garlic powder, and then the cayenne, and of course the cumin. Don't forget the cumin, okay? So just stir. After all the spices are well incorporated, just go ahead and add back in the chicken. Let me go ahead and give this a stir and make sure that all the pieces get well coated with the spices. And then all I have to do next is add my milk in. And you're gonna want to use the 5 cups of milk, okay? If you want to trade out some milk for water, that's fine, but make sure you have this amount of liquid because you're gonna need it to cook the noodles, because the noodles are gonna go in uncooked. All right, so this is my 5th cup, and then the noodles. 4 cups of the noodles, or the whole box. And just go ahead and make sure that you cover up the noodles with the liquid to give it an opportunity to cook. Okay, so you're going to want this to come to a boil, and then clock it at about 10 minutes after it comes to a boil. And then you open it up and put the cheese like this. This is such a fantastic, easy meal to make for lunch. And you can also make it in an electric skillet. This is just a skillet on top of the stove, but you can make it in an electric skillet. So, doesn't this look wonderful, guys? It smells wonderful too. Now I'm going to have Jada come in because she wanted to be a part of the show today. And she's going to taste, but she eats everything with chopsticks, and I don't know why. Let's ask her why.
So I like eating it. Oh my god. I think this is my favorite. Oh my god. It's too hot. It needs to cool down. I want more.
time to make the no churn papaya ice cream. I put this aluminum bowl along with the legs for the hand mixer in the freezer for about 20 minutes. Now this is 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, and all I'm gonna do is put the hand mixer on very high speed and just beat this for about 7 to 8 minutes. While I'm beating this, Joe is helping out by peeling the papaya. He's already washed the outside of the skin, and now he's just gonna peel the skin off for me. And he always takes the ends off because sometimes he stands it up. A papaya is very slippery, guys, so you have to be very careful. So Joe is just peeling away while I'm hand mixing over in my section of the counter. And yeah, I don't like papayas on a whole. I don't like the smell, but they're very good for you. So I decided that I wanted to do it in an ice cream to see if I'm gonna like it. So this is a no churn ice cream, but you do have to have a hand mixer. See how it's coming along, guys? Just take your time with it. Beating this takes a lot of time. You're not gonna do this with a wooden spoon, okay? It's gonna be too much work. See how it's coming along? And I'm so glad that I have Joe helping me out. Look, see? Stiff peaks. You want to beat it to stiff peaks. It takes about 8 minutes. So now we're just going to use the NutriBullet to go ahead and blend the papaya to make it into a liquid, because we want to add it to this mixture. Now, see? I'm not using the whole canister that I blended, just half. 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, any brand will do. This is a very simple ice cream to make, okay? It usually only takes 2 or 3 ingredients. So we've had the heavy whipping cream, the sweetened condensed milk, that's 2. The papaya, that's 3, okay? Now I'm just going to put some chunks of the papaya in here. And this is so simple, guys. This is an ice cream that doesn't have any preservatives. You can make this for the kids. And to me, it's just sweet enough, but then I don't eat a whole lot of it when I make a serving, okay? So now I'm putting it in this loaf pan. If you're using like the stainless steel or aluminum loaf pan, put a layer of the shrink wrap underneath. This is a rubber one that I've had from before. Put it in the freezer for 8 hours, and then look, we have creamy, beautiful papaya ice cream. I wish I had allowed the ice cream to thaw out a little bit more before I started to serve it, but you know what? I'm going to have to work these wrists out if I'm going to be eating any of this. Did you guys notice that there's some that's missing already? Joe got into my ice cream at 6 hours in. I was so mad. I'm like, what if I had to do a thumbnail on this, Joe? I'm going to start. Oh, look. Let me show you papaya chunks in here. And you could put more if you want, but I only put a little bit. I'm going to start having to put a note up on my fridge like the One Pot Chef does to let the people that live here know that I'm not done with my show yet, you guys. So anyways, let me go ahead and taste. It does not smell like papaya, so I think it's going to be good. And yes, it is absolutely good. It's creamy. It's just sweet enough. It is so delicious. Now let me go ahead and put the rest away because we're going to serve some later at a party. You guys, you're going to want to stay to the end of this video because I have something so cute to show you guys at the end. If you don't stay to the end, you'll be sorry.
I don't know if you guys know, I have a little YouTube show that called Son Hater Boy. You know, I got a couple of videos up there. I would say maybe 4, roughly. But I tell you what, there's something I think is not for me. I don't have the patience like my wife. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to stay at her show. Now and again, I can come in and do a little thing. I got one that I want to show you guys. It's one that made out of flowers that make out of pantyhose, and that I made. So I want you guys to take a look at that and tell me what you think about it.
He used thread, he used the tying wire, the tape for flowers, pliers, a pair of scissors. Of course, he used the pantyhose themselves. And take a look at this green piece that he has here. He didn't like the color of the green, so he's going to show us how to dye it the color that you like, or the color that he likes. So he went and bought the dye from Joann's. He did all this behind my back and I didn't know. He's using pipe cleaners, and of course he has them in every color. So now he's starting. The first thing that he's doing is making his petals. And if you're gonna make these, you kind of want to just sit here and cut the wires to make all the petals. And you want the wires to kind of be, even sized with the petals that you're making. And the flowers that he's gonna make, for the most part, are gonna use 3 petals. So he cuts 3 even pieces, and then he uses his pliers to just kind of twist the ends shut. And he grabs his first piece of stockings or pantyhose. And incidentally, These colorful pantyhose and stuff are kind of hard to find. So like when you go to the store and go to the women's section, you're gonna find the tans and the browns and the blacks and stuff, but you're not gonna find the colorful ones unless you go like into the baby section for little babies or the young girls or whatever. If not, you're gonna have to dye each and every one of them individually to suit the color that you want. So after stretching it over the frame, he goes ahead and ties it off with a thread. And you know, I don't even know who's running camera for him right now. I think some of it he did himself, some of it Jada helped out. So he's tying it off, and this petal is pretty much almost done. He's just gonna stretch the pantyhose or the stocking between the thread, you know, pull it tight so you don't want any slack at all. Cut off the end with the scissors, and pretty much this is the third petal to go on this one flower because he has two on the table already. He's gonna show us how to bend it or to shape it or form it, and just kind of bend it over his fingers and squeeze the tip, and this petal is pretty much ready. So now it's a matter of making the stem or the body, and of course he could have bought this at Joann's too already kind of prepared, but he's, you know, he's got this wire here for the longest time that he's not doing anything with, so he decided to just go ahead and use this up, right? So he bends a long piece of the wire, so now there's a loop. He's gonna decide what pipe cleaner to use, and he likes the red to go with the purple. Like I said, he's artistically inclined. You know, I don't know that I would have picked red, but it came out so beautiful. So he cuts off a little piece of the pipe cleaner, and of course he's using the pliers because it's easier to use than shears or scissors because there's a wire inside the middle of the pipe cleaner. So he puts a little piece in the loop. It's kind of like the middle part of the flower, the bud or the seed or whatever that middle part of the flower is. And so he kind of squeezes it with the pliers so that it doesn't come undone. And now he's just kind of twisting the stem. And now it's a matter of assembling the flower. So he puts on his first petal and he puts it on to the wire part, but the pipe cleaner is there too. So he's just kind of tying it around here and just want to tie it really tight so it doesn't fall apart. He's using his mouth because normally when you're doing these kind of things, you're kind of alone and you don't have any help. And by the way, my mom used to make these flowers when I was a child growing up in Belize, and so did Joe's mom. And so he learned, I didn't learn, but he learned, and he decided to just go on ahead and teach us how it's done. So he is adding his second petal on. Like I said before, this one's going to be a 3-petal flower. He's going to do a couple coming up where he's going to use 4 petals, but this is 3. And he puts the third one on, and you just want to go ahead with the thread and just kind of tie it on really, really tight. He's showing us how it's going to look. So again, he's going to tie. You have to have some patience if you're going to be doing this for your loved one. So now you're going to have a lot of thread work that you're going to have to cover up with the green flower tape. So that's why you need that tape. So he's tying it shut here, and it's looking beautiful. You know, I don't really know what time he had to do this. I was gone and I came back and all this had happened behind my back. This is just wonderful. Look at how beautiful this is. Look how gorgeous the red pipe cleaner thing is inside the purple flower. So now he's grabbing hold of his tape and he's just starting at the base and just wrap. Pretty simple. This part's fun right here. So he's just going ahead to and wrap with his tape. Wrap right down the stem. And pretty much this one is almost ready. And not quite either because he's going to put leaves, but for the most part this one's almost ready. And then he's going to show us how to dye the green, and he's putting some distilled white vinegar into a pot of boiling water, and then he's adding just a little bit of the color because he's only going to dye 1 pantyhose. You need to follow the instructions that's on the dyeing thing that you bought, and the instructions go according to the fabric. Okay, so this is how to do the nylon. So he puts it in there. If it's not green enough, add more. Pours it out down my sink and quickly washes off the sink because we don't want any kind of staining to happen. He puts it outside to dry because he didn't want to mess up my dryer. I'm so grateful for that. So now he's gonna do this beautiful baby pink, and what you want to do is cut the legs off the body of the pantyhose because you can't use the body and you can't use the tips. Okay, you can't use the toes. So he just tosses those, and just a matter of cutting open the leg from the pantyhose, and he's using these really dull scissors. I bet you he wishes he had gone out and bought some scissors before he started this project. So now he's showing us how to wrap it again, and it's basically done the same way like he did with the purple. And so he's just tying the thread on, and cutting it off. And then he's showing us how to bend it. And now take a look at this black one. You know, you can use black pantyhose, you can make black flowers. He's actually doing some tulips right here. So, well, one tulip, that's what he's doing, not some tulips. And the tulip uses 4 petals. Okay, so this is one of them with the 4 petals. And now this one, the flower is not quite open yet. It hasn't bloomed yet. So he took 4 petals and turned them backwards towards each other. And then now he's just wrapping the stem. So take a look at his bouquet right here. Now he's adding leaves. He did the petals the same way, but he shaped them a little bit more elongated and he used the green. And he is so pleased with himself. Take a look at this man.
Now, folks, take a look at Jada singing one of her original songs.
Hush, my darling, don't let this go. Hush, my darling, the sickness has its toll. The night has got your soul. The dark won't let you go. Oh, look, I'm back again. Why you hiding? Are you scared? Seems you've seen a ghost, honey, but you don't know. Oh, so hush, my darling, don't let this go. Hush, my darling, the sickness has its toll. The night has got your soul. The dark won't let you go. So hush, my darling, don't let this go.
Alright guys, for those of you that stayed to the end, this is your reward. I promise you're gonna smile. Take a look at Lucky.
Rumba, 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 rumba.
No guys, I've not adopted another dog, okay? Jory is babysitting or puppy sitting or dog sitting that cute little puppy, and he likes to get up on his hind legs to beg for stuff or to, you know, even ask for attention. And so I recorded him and I decided to find some wonderful free music that you can use right here at YouTube to watch him shake his booty. That was so cute. I've been sitting on this all week wanting to share it with you guys at Facebook, but I had to wait to do it in this show because I wanted it to be special. So you guys, friend me at Facebook, Barbara McNabb Greenwich, MCNAB. I have a Twitter, which is Bear Pantry Show. Instagram is Bear Pantry Show. If you look up Bear Pantry Show and you don't find me, look up The Bear Pantry Show, okay? Because I forget what name I put when I go to these social media things. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, for liking, for thumbsing up, which is liking, sharing, subscribing, and for your comments that I'm going to look forward to below. Until I see you guys again, take care.